Hey, it's Misha Mishamatic, and Evangelion World is dead.
Wait, what's Evangelion World?
What? You don't know?
Not really.
Oh, well that's fair. Evangelion World was an interactive exhibit in Japan, kind of like a mini Evangelion museum. It was actually pretty popular, but then again, it's in Japan, which is pretty far from most of us, so it totally makes sense if you never heard of it. But I'm crazy nutso about this anime stuff, so let me tell you about it.
Okay.
I originally visited Evangelion World in 2019 during Christmas, and it was unforgettable. So today, I'll be diving into its history and what made it so special.
The Evangelion World exhibit also had lots of little secret hidden things that I think you would miss if you rushed through it. And because I had a lot of time on my hands, I really thoroughly checked out the exhibit. I'm going to show you what other people overlooked. Ding!
Evangelion World opened in 2010 and was located in Fuji-Q Highland,
which is a beautiful theme park that has even more beautiful views of Mount Fuji. And although Evangelion World is now deceased, Fuji-Q Highland is still going strong. Surprisingly, entering the Fuji-Q Highland theme park is completely free.
But unfortunately, entering Evangelion World was not free. You had to pay 800 yen to get a ticket to enter. At Fuji-Q Highland, you actually pay per attraction, which I thought was a pretty neat system. So you can walk around the theme park, check out the attractions, and then decide what seems worthy of your gold. Evangelion World's main draw was the life-sized Evangelion replicas and photo op spots. Many exhibits also had hidden interactive elements as well. I think the most impressive sight was definitely the life-size Eva Unit 1 and Eva Unit 2. Look, these are massive. Here is Unit 2, with me for a size comparison. In front of Unit 1, there was even a projection mapping light show that played every few minutes. It was honestly amazing. Seeing that was crazy, but I also really enjoyed exploring the stage set of NERV headquarters. It really felt just like being in Evangelion, so let me show you around. As you walk through the hallways, the familiar colors and all the references to scenes from Eva were awesome. Like, you could chill with Asuka and Rei from the famous elevator scene, or if you walked a bit further, you could get hit on by Kaji, all while he holds a infamous UCC coffee can. UCC Coffee has had many Eva collabs, and here Kaji is even holding a Fuji-Q Highland edition can. Up next, we can see the silhouette of Rei from a familiar scene where she puts on her plug suit. I found that if you tried to interact with parts of the exhibit, sometimes your curiosity would be rewarded.
Can I press these buttons? No, they don't do anything.
For one example of a secret that I mentioned in the beginning of the video is in this area, you could actually swipe a card, and there was nothing indicating that you could actually swipe there. Curiosity just got the better of me and I tried it.
Can I use like my Suica card?
Yes, like this. Sing. Here. Oh, I gotta do you up high.
It actually worked.
Yes, hang on.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was crazy. That's so fun.
Do it again.
That's so cool. I'm obsessed.
So yeah, I swiped a real card, and it was just like in my Japanese anime. I was freaking losing my mind. I said I was crazy. Sorry.
The reason I was freaking out was because there was nothing indicating that you could swipe a real card here. So I feel like this could have easily been missed. I swiped my train card, by the way, not like a credit card or something sketchy. While researching for this video, I found out from a Japanese website that Eva-themed ID cards were originally sold specifically for swiping into this area. But by the time I visited, they weren't being sold anymore, and the note about swiping here had been removed. Another fun but probably more obvious thing to interact with at the exhibit were these peep holes. There were a number of doors around the exhibit with peepholes that you could look into.
What is that? That is something or nothing? Oh, you can see Ritsuko. Oh, there's another hole down here. Where is it? I can't see.
There was even one at a suspiciously low angle. And if you looked into it, you could actually see legs. Misato's beautiful legs. By the way, I don't think I'm some big brain Eva fan for finding these things. When I went to the exhibit, it wasn't very busy, and I was literally there with just me and my mom, who helped me explore every little area. I made this video to archive Evangelion World, and also just to share my excitement with anyone who would listen. Funny side note, my mom isn't really an Eva fan, but she is a good sport for visiting with me. I had her watch Eva with me when I was younger, and she told me it gave her nightmares. In 2019, I couldn't read Japanese very well, so I overlooked this bulletin board. But it's actually pretty neat. I especially like this one, that it's basically Kaji recruiting people to help him grow watermelons. There were lots of these little nods to the series, and it really made exploring NERV headquarters a lot of fun. To give some more interesting history, Evangelion World opened July 23rd, 2010, and it was insanely popular. On opening day, there was a lineup of over 400 people, and tickets sold out. People even lined up to sit in this cockpit. But when I visited, that area was blocked off. Evangelion World opened 2 years before the 3.0 movie, so much of the exhibit had a strong 3.0 vibe, with a focus on Kaoru and related scenes. There was even this life-size Kaoru, making the attraction feel like a promo for the 2012 movie.
Even though there was a focus on 3.0, I still think that OG fans would have enjoyed the exhibit. Just like the rebuilds, there was a lot of the old Evangelion vibe in this museum. I mean, we still got those guys, Shingi and Rybread.
Like I said, I visited Evangelion World in 2019, and it was surprisingly empty. Compared to its peak popularity in 2012, I wondered how much longer this place would be around. After watching YouTube videos and checking some other sites, I realized the exhibit has barely changed since opening in 2010. Aside from some bigger updates like adding the Beast Mode Unit 2 in 2011, this place has stayed the same for nearly 10 years, with some areas looking quite worn down by the time I visited. Despite Evangelion being one of the most commercialized anime ever, with countless collaborations and crossovers, Evangelion World was clearly created with a lot of thought and love. Given Eva's massive popularity, they could have thrown something more mediocre together and still made bank. To me, Evangelion World had a kind of magic, almost like Disney magic, but it was edgy, cool, and had giant flippin' robots. And just like Disney, it had a merch store at the exit, with tons of Eva items. Looking back at these posters from 2010 to 2020, it's crazy how much Eva's marketing has changed. They even had a Purikura instant photo booth, which I regret not trying now. I remember when I visited in 2019 that I was so excited for the final Eva movie. It wasn't just about the movie though. It was knowing that the whole Evangelion buzz, online, in Japan, and within the anime community would kick back up again. The Eva fandom is always growing, and with every new movie brings new hype and new people. Before and after the final Eva movie, I assumed interest in the exhibit would have shot up again, but unfortunately, Evangelion World closed on May 9th, 2021. Fuji-Q Highland decided to shut it down to replace it with a new roller coaster. I think it's disappointing that Evangelion World closed. However, the attraction had a solid 10-year run, so its shutdown, while sad, is understandable. Now that Evangelion World has closed, and there are no more Eva movies coming out, it really makes you wonder, how much longer will Eva stay relevant, and how will its popularity be affected? What do you think? Do you think Eva's popularity is going to dwindle, or do you think it's going to keep going strong?
My personal take is that Evangelion is an anime staple, and it will continue to be popular for years to come. But now that Evangelion World is gone, where can us Eva fans go? Well, if you want to hear more about cool places to visit in Japan, if you're an Eva fan, I made a video about that. which you can watch here. In this video, I discuss places like Hakone, which is where Evangelion takes place. I put a lot of love into it because I love Evangelion.
I also just made a really fun video about Ava's crazy merch history.
See you there!